Yeah. Let's do this.
So here we have SH Figuarts, Luke Skywalker from the original Star Wars, 1977, also known as A New Hope these days. This is I believe, the second Luke Skywalker that Figuarts has released. They did the Return of the Jedi one previously, which you can watch the review right there. So getting into the details of this figure, it comes with an alternate face, a couple alternate hands, and a couple different things that we'll go over later in the video. For now, let's just go over some of the detail. You can see that everything is sculpted on. It's not like the Hasbro Black Series one where he's got the cloth tunic. This is all just plastic, and it's sculpted. And I gotta say, it's sculpted very nicely. You can see all the ridges in the fabric and everything. It doesn't look unnatural or weird or anything like that. There's a little bit of paint detailing in there. I don't know if it's like a wash or dry brushing. I'm not entirely sure, but they definitely captured kind of a dirty, gritty look that he would have like on the farms of Tatooine there. Articulation-wise, his arms are very posable. Well, we can start at the head. He's got the joint inside the neck, like right underneath the chin there, that moves forward and back like this. And then he's got at the base of the neck right there. So he's got plenty of different range of motion to look every which way, all around, whatever you want him to do. Looking at the arms here now, you get a great elbow joint like that. So it goes really far back. Inside the sleeve here, there's like a piece of the arm, I don't know, you might be able to see in there, which actually moves. So there's like a hinge in here somewhere that actually moves the arm on top of the actual like wrist hinge that he has. And he's got obviously the swivel wrist also. So you actually have a pretty good range of motion as far as like his arm goes there too. His lower arm, I should say. The shoulder, you've got the butterfly hinge joint in the top part there, so you can get it like forward and like kind of in front of his body, like crossways like that. And you've also got obviously the ball peg that moves it up and down and like side to side a little bit. What's cool is you can actually like pull it down a little bit and get kind of a more full range of motion out of it like that. So you're not going to run into many problems posing this guy from the upper body. He does have not quite an ab crunch, but it's like a ball peg inside of his waist here. I don't know if that's technically still considered a diaphragm joint or what the case is, but he does move forward pretty well, and he moves back also, I don't know, pretty reasonably well, I would say. It's got a little bit of side to side in there too, so you can have him leaning over from one side to the other. Get him dancing a little bit if that's what you want to do. That's maybe what they did. Maybe they go clubbing on Tatooine. I'm not sure. The lightsaber clipped to the belt here. You'll see that pops off. There's that hole right there. You can see that clips onto that peg right there. I'll put this aside for now. We'll get to that. The legs, you'll see that the bottom of the tunic is split also, so you can get the full range of leg movement here, which the legs, they move forward really far. The knee hinges actually really far back. Kind of looks maybe a little weird with the big ball joint right there, but that's aesthetic, so if that bothers you, then it does, but it doesn't really bother me. Side to side, he gets a full range of motion like that, and the ankles themselves, it's like a ball peg in there, so you get a little bit of forward and back, and decent pivot, nothing great. It's not like the Hasbro Marvel Legends ankles, but it's not bad, and you also get a toe joint in there too, so for just that little added bit of flexibility. Moving on to the face here, you can see they really did a great job with the likeness to Mark Hamill. This probably looks more like Luke Skywalker than any figure that I've had before, and I'm including the Figuarts Return of the Jedi Luke in that. This one is, I would dare say it's perfect. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. You could argue that the hair being gold, I mean, that's, not everybody's cup of tea. It doesn't bother me as much. It's not quite as noticeable on this figure as it is on the Return of the Jedi one. I'm thinking just because of the kind of muted colors of the attire here. You got just tans and white, so the gold doesn't quite stand out as much as it did against the black costume Return of the Jedi figure. But overall, I'm very happy with the way this figure looks. Moving on to his extra stuff, you see he's got the two gripping hands to hold onto his lightsaber. He's got like the two, these are just open hands. Let's see if you can, they're kind of relaxed. I mean, you're probably not going to get him to like grip anything with these hands, but they're definitely nice and they look good on the figure. This is the blast shield from the scene on the Millennium Falcon where he's training against the remote droid that's shooting at him when he's got the lightsaber. So that's cool that they included that. And then this is his alternate face, which is just, he's just kind of smiling. I can't think of a reason why I would ever have this on the figure, but I'll show you what it looks like. So here he is with the alternate head, happy. It's not a terrible likeness or anything, but I don't remember Luke really smiling this much in the original Star Wars movie. I don't know, for the most part, he was like kind of just like trying to outrun stormtroopers and witnessing the death of his family, so that's really nothing much to smile about, in my opinion. But let's move on. So here's the blast helmet that he trains with in the Millennium Falcon. I think it looks cool. You basically just pop the front off, put the face on, and then pop the front back on. So that's why this seam is here. Mine's not totally flush. I don't know if that's just mine or if that's like across the board, or maybe I just didn't put it on correctly. But you could probably use either face in here too. So I don't know if you just want like a Judge Dredd type Luke Skywalker where you never see his face, put this on and you're good to go. The helmet's got good detail on it. You can tell like the stripes and all the logos and everything on that. Really looks cool. They did a good job with it. And the helmeted head, I should say, is like a whole extra piece. So you would actually take off his regular head and put this on. So it's basically like almost like a D-Arts Mega Man, where he has like a totally separate head that's a helmet. You pop that on, and then the regular head with just the hair, you don't use that for this. So let's get into some of the extras that he has. So I showed his lightsaber before. There you can see the little hole for the peg on his belt on the bottom part of the handle there. And the detail on this is really nice. I like the color. I like the simplicity in just the paint apps. You got your black stripes down here for those little grips that are on there. And little button, not so much the button, but I guess just the inner workings of it up here. Very similar to the Hasbro Black Series lightsabers. The blade pops out just like that. You can see it's on a little peg there. And then just pop it right back in. And you're good to go. That's how you turn the lightsaber on and off in the action figure world. And here's the training remote droid from the Millennium Falcon. You can see it's just got a blast attached to it. And then it's got like a deflection effect part that it just lets you clip it right on the lightsaber. Right there. You can probably see that there's a little... it's kind of tough to see, but you can see right now that just clips around the lightsaber. So you can reenact that scene in the movie where Luke is deflecting the blasts. And so there you have it. That's how he displays when the little remote droid is shooting the laser and he's deflecting it with the lightsaber. A couple different poses you could do with this. It's cool they give you some options though. You definitely have plenty of display possibilities with this guy. However you're going to put him on your shelf. You can have him training like this or have him playing. It's up to you. I like it though. So here you can see him with other versions of Luke Skywalker that I have in this scale. This is the Black Series X-Wing pilot Luke from Wave 1. And this is the Return of the Jedi Luke from SH Figuarts, which I mentioned earlier. Something interesting to notice is that this Luke's lightsaber actually has a little more paint detail on the handle than this one. This one I think looks better overall. It's a little better sculpted, I think, than this one. And the blue on the pilot Luke's lightsaber is a little brighter than this one. This is kind of way more translucent. So it's up to you to decide if that's going to be something that bothers you. But you can see that as far as other Figuarts figures from the Star Wars series, he's in scale, he fits in well. And he'll also fit in well with your Black Series figures. So there's no reason not to get him if you like 6-inch Star Wars stuff. So here he is with some other non-Luke Skywalker characters. This is the Sand Trooper from Hasbro's Black Series. And this is the C-3PO Bandai model kit. And you can see that he fits in scale-wise very well with them too. So no matter what brand of Star Wars figures you're collecting in this scale, it's a pretty safe bet that Luke Skywalker here is going to fit right in with them. So overall, in case you're wondering, if you missed me saying it before, this is probably the best Luke Skywalker figure in this scale that anybody has made. And I highly recommend you pick it up. If you have the Return of the Jedi Luke from SH Figuarts, it's nice to see the progression they've made. This one looks more like Mark Hamill did in 1977, and the Return of the Jedi one looks more like he did when, 1983 when Return of the Jedi was made. The gold hair that the Return of the Jedi figure had isn't quite as prominent on this one. It's still gold, but it's not quite as gold. And as I mentioned, because of the color scheme of the figure before, it's not really quite as noticeable. And for my money, this is the most iconic look for Luke Skywalker. I know a lot of people like the Bespin Luke or the Return of the Jedi Luke, but this, if you just say Luke Skywalker to me, this is what pops into my head. And there's really no reason not to own this. If you like Star Wars and if you're a collector of this scale figure, I highly recommend it. It's going to run you between $50, $55, $60, somewhere in there. But at that price, it's worth it. I'd say to grab it before it gets expensive. I know the previous Luke from the Return of the Jedi one is like running close to like 85 or 90 now. So you're going to want to get on this quick if you're going to get it. This really makes me excited to see what else Figuarts has coming out. I know they got a Han Solo coming that I'm probably going to buy. I say probably. I'm definitely going to buy. And there's a lot of other cool stuff coming. But as for my money, this is the best Luke, hands down, in this scale.
Pick it up if you like it. This has been Catherine McKay. You've been a lovely audience. So with that all said and done, thank you again for watching, and we'll catch you later on.
That's crispy.